Darkstar is back again, Doom Slayers. You are watching my top map series for the Doom games and custom map packs. It is time to list what are the top 10 best maps in the ZPack, since a lot of the maps are a work of art. You people might ask, are all of the maps in the ZPack better than the best maps in the community chests? No, not really. However, I will say that only some of the top 10 are in fact better than all of the best maps in all 4 community chests. And since I'm going to list 10 maps, there will be no honorable mentions here, and also there will not be a negatives list. One thing that I should say about the ZPack is that even though it requires Doom 2 to run, it uses an episodic format like with Ultimate Doom, except with 10 maps per episode, and they are coded by episode number and map number, which means I have to include the episode name and map name together like I did with Ultimate Doom. These maps also include the ZDoom and Hexen formats, which means they have more dynamics than the original formats for the community chests. Also, this time I will give out the name of the author for each map for convenience. Plus, the maps on these lists are mostly based on how great the designs and gimmicks are. So with that, let's start at number 10. Number 10, Episode 1, The Remains of UAC, Map 0, Colossus Reloaded, by Vader. Before I talk about the map, every time you see a 0 in the map number, then that means it is the episode's secret level, so the secret level of episode 1 is the first to be listed on the top 10 best list. You should also know you will see the name of this author multiple times. As for this map, this is a real grueling but very fun challenge. You start in the middle of a building around 4 platforms with cyber demons on them, and you have to get to the switches which opens the next door, and you have to find out which of the next doors open so you can telefrag the cyber demons, one after the other. Very dangerous challenge, but it is very well constructed in a very fun way. It is worth playing because this mapper is a very great mapper, and you will find out more about his works later. To finish this map, it is challenging, fun, and maybe a little hard, but it is very playable and the design of the map is great as well. Number 9, Episode 1, The Remains of UAC, Map 3, KDiZD Launch Site, by Tormentor 667 and Vader. Yes, the genius himself is back again. That's right, Tormentor the man himself is back with the help of Vader. You may notice that the first word in the name of the map is an acronym for Knee Deep in ZDoom. This is likely going to be the third map that you have to play, which means you have to get through a well-made map that has a new challenge, and that new challenge is beating the time limit. However, do not let that scare you because there are people that can get 100% completion before the timer runs out. Just make sure that you know where all the keys are before you proceed. Number 8, Episode 2, Descent into Darkness, Map 7, Black Inferno, by Tormentor 667. This is Tormentor's third best work here, with so much to explore on this hellish landscape. I mean, when I said that there is so much to explore on this map, I'm very serious, and again, the challenge here is ultra-violence. This map is hard, but in a good way, like again how Tormentor loves to make items a bit scarce, which definitely balances the challenge, so even players that do this map with a fresh start can still be able to beat the map. This map has many different room styles that do actually have good ways to fit together. Dark temples, industrial areas, caves, deep hallways, and other trap arenas. All I need to say is that this is made by Tormentor, and you will know that it is a good map, and you'll see more of his works later. Number 7, Episode 2, Descent into Darkness, Map 6, Terror Cube, by Zippy. The name of the single map object is the concept. The function of the Terror Cube itself is very original. How it doesn't simply just teleport you if you walk through it, but you have to press on the different colors on the mechanism, which coordinates with a specific teleport location you are trying to get to. This level has many unique gimmicks to this map. While this map can take a long while to beat, it has many tricks that you may encounter, and some of them are very reminding of Quake 1. Number 6, Episode 2, Descent into Darkness, Map 3, More Tricks and Traps, by Tormentor 667. This is Tormentor's second best work in this pack. At the start of this map, you get a good impression of what new tricks and traps you might encounter. Everything that Tormentor makes is guaranteed to have good architecture. The traps in this level are big ones with many monsters and huge crushers. Just a few downsides compared to the original tricks and traps. It is a bit linear and it may have a lot of traps, but a little bit of unique tricks. But the design of the whole map and the number of new things it has puts this as one of the best. Number 5. Episode 3 Armageddon, Map 0 Sector by Xaser. This is the best secret map in the whole map pack, with a hilarious, unique feature and mechanic that I've never seen before in a map. The map builds itself as you progress around it, and yes, it is somewhat non-linear and the size of the map is completely acceptable. It has a hilarious cutscene in the beginning of the level. This map actually does feel like someone is building the map in the Doom builder while you are playing it, and it really is a trip. I also like how the map has different rooms connecting to each other with wild transitions, as if someone is casually making the map with all of the classic textures and designs with different types of areas put together in one map. This is actually the only map on the ZPack that mostly uses classic elements besides the fancy way it creates itself and the cutscenes and how you beat the level by first killing everything and pulling the ropes to get the ending cutscene. Number 4. Episode 1 The Remains of UAC, Map 7 Nuclear Sky by Tormentor 667. This is Tormentor's best work in this map pack. Even without seeing the name of the author of this map, you can definitely tell it is made by Tormentor. The distinct map layout he has with the bordering and the architecture that he puts in his maps. The pathing in this level is great and the backtracking is good that it opens new ways to get from one area to the next. It is also a pretty big level for what it is, and you might think that you're going from one map to another, and another good thing in this map I always like to bring up is the transitioning between areas. Not one area looks inappropriately connected. There's also an area that is a reference to one of the original Doom 2 maps. This is one of the best and well-made maps here. Number 3. Episode 3 Armageddon, Map 6 The 13th Hour by Zippy. Take everything good about Dead Simple from Doom 2, multiply the design, the gameplay, and the challenge by 12, and you will get this map. This map is like one of the invasion maps from Skulltech, and this map does very good with the clock concept, which you will have 13 waves of demons to beat, each with a different change in the battlefield. Even though this level is just one area, it is filled with fun and a very good concept to fight in a big, challenging map like this. This isn't just a single area, it's an arena, and you better be prepared for the next rounds that come up. Number 2. Episode 1 The Remains of UAC, Map 8 and 9, Thunderpeak, Powerplant, and Termination by Vader. Yes, once again 2 maps in one spot because these 2 maps go together, and it is once again made by one of the best Doom mappers ever, Vader. This is in fact one of his best works of all time, which is one of the best in ZPack. The 2 Thunderpeak maps are definitely some of the levels that you should try out. The architecture for a large power plant with many areas that you can easily identify from places like security towers, storage areas, air ventilation systems, and other core areas. The narrow path size for the air vents is completely justifiable because there are only a little bit of weak enemies in the air vents, and going through them does have that fitting way of traveling through different areas in the power plant. One really good thing about this map is that there is little to no way to get lost in the map. This map has some unique features like the elevators and the security cameras. It is one of the best, and you should play this right now if you're into Doom 2. Number 1. Episode 3 Armageddon, Map 7, Blackrock, by author Vader. This is the best level in all of the ZPack. I do not care what anyone says, this level is on top of the pack. It is the end-all above all. I will even go as far to say that you must be out of your mind if you do not think that this map is one of the top 5 best maps here, let alone top 3 best maps here. To get a good impression of how amazing this map is, just look at the wonderful Quake-esque starting location along with the Quake sound effects. It is very nostalgic. Not only is this the best designed map on the ZPack, it also has the best features on the map. There are guides in the auto map which makes this incredibly non-linear, super detailed map easy to navigate with little to no way to get lost. The style of the map is very consistent and it has unique and beautiful dungeon designs which serve the same for every other area in this map. This level is challenging, but it matches how professionally made this map is. It is also very time consuming to beat, but the action and beauty in every inch of this map is definitely worth playing through. Another interesting thing about this map is that the concept and design was reused by the very same mapper that made the glorious map into a level for the Stronghold mod called Tarstone Fortress. So to recap all of the great things in this map: nostalgic features, map guides, non-linear, large map, swimmable areas, grueling traps, incredible pathing, consistent texturing, easy to navigate, balanced size and spacing, great secrets, amazing aesthetics, and so many other things that I could add to this list. This map is the best, and Vader is the best mapper in the ZPack, hands down, no question about it. And that is it for the top 10 maps for the ZPack. Now I did want to put other maps here like one of Skillsaw's maps and Fanboy, but Skillsaw's maps weren't as fun to play as the others, and Fanboy was just too hard and tedious. They would at least deserve a mention, but not enough to list them. Though I listed 10 of the maps, it doesn't mean that the others are bad. Most of the other maps are really good, and this pack is definitely one that you should try out if you love Doom 2 and custom monsters. That is it for this video, so with that, good ladies and gentlemen, have a great life.